Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And looking at the puzzle, you know exactly what day it is. This is the next in the series, the 37th puzzle in Marty Sears' amazing Rat Run collection. This one's called Fruitful. Now, last week we had a little bit of a segue, didn't we? We had the selection of the rat, but this is genuinely the next puzzle in the story. And that means that what we do need to do before we do anything else is to read Marty's blurb at the start. Let me just, I think you should be able to see that on your screens as well. But I will read it. So, Rat Run Experiment 37, Burgundy, which happened on the 13th of May, 1975. Progress has been slow, but not without reward. I have spent much of the last fortnight reading and rereading the notebooks, getting myself up to speed with super receptivity and the means by which it can be harnessed. After many hours of searching, I finally found the calibrators tucked away in a small box at the bottom of a cabinet in storeroom B. Though their precise workings remain difficult to comprehend, it is clear they will play a crucial role in what follows. While clearing out the rest of the cabinet, I made another discovery of an entirely different nature, something that felt strangely out of place amongst all the equipment and paperwork. A present, carefully wrapped in spotty pink and white wrapping paper. The gift tag read, "For Zoe." Oh. Now I have reread the whole story recently. I don't remember a Zoe. Oh, that's terrible. If there was a Zoe, I'm very... Oh, I'm not sure. I can't remember. That's appalling, isn't it? I will have to wait for the comments to enlighten me on what's happening. But this puzzle... it's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty at the moment, but when I woke up this morning, it had 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty. So it's eased off during the day, but all of the comments, as you'd expect, are incredibly positive, and I'm sure we're in for a treat. I don't quite know what we're going to do when Marty brings this series or this whole exercise to an end. Oh, actually, I should say as well, Marty, I saw you'd scheduled for next week's for Wednesday next week. I might be on an aeroplane then. It's possible. So there might be a delay in next week's Rat Run video. And so I'm just warning you, that might happen. It's not going to be because I don't want to do the puzzle. It might be just because I'm unable to do it for a few days next week. But don't worry, there will of course be videos anyway. If I have to pre-record, I will do, but I can't pre-record Rat Run because it only comes out on the Wednesday. Anyway, what else do I want to mention today before we actually kick into this puzzle and find out what the test constraint is? Few things to mention. Firstly, thank you all for being so kind about a complete technical mishap that I had yesterday when I began solving Florian Wortmann's mushroom dance puzzle, which was a great puzzle. You should all do it. And what I hadn't realised, and it's extraordinary actually, is normally when I record, I'm recording in new software. I have been for the last month or so. This software is called OBS, and it's also the software we use for streaming. Now, I somehow yesterday managed to hit the start streaming button, and somehow YouTube knew that I'd done this and decided that this should be a Bubba Is You stream. So unbeknownst to me, I think I'm recording a video. I'm streaming live to the internet, and I get this message that popped up saying OBS has disconnected. And I was like, what? Why is OBS? OBS shouldn't be connected at all. Anyway, I was totally discombobulated with this. Thankfully, I hadn't been solving the puzzle for very long. And I didn't even realise at that point that I had been streaming. I just thought, because I thought that you had to, if I did try and stream to the channel, I had to go to YouTube and do something positive and say accept the stream. That's always the way it's worked with all of the blueprint streams. For example, we set the stream up, we commence streaming to the internet, but YouTube won't start the stream until I go to YouTube and say start stream, and then it tries to link the two together. There was none of that yesterday. So anyway, I didn't know I'd been streaming. I thought I'd lost the footage. I was like, oh, do I just junk the puzzle or not? I decided not to, so I just re-recorded the introduction, and it appeared as a video last night. But I mean, I'm very pleased with myself. That when I realised there'd been a mistake, I didn't have a complete fit on camera, because it would have just gone live to the world. Anyway, that's what happened yesterday, and some of you noticed that there was a problem, and you were kind about it, so thank you. Anyway, that is a digression. Oh, now tomorrow, I am very much hoping. I haven't heard yet, but I could probably check actually by going. No, I still haven't heard. I think tomorrow there will be a bonus puzzle on the channel tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. UK time. Jane Street have sent us a new puzzle, and I recorded myself solving it yesterday, and I will just reveal it's probably in the top 5 longest videos that we'll ever have showcased on the channel. It was a monster of a puzzle. It's a fantastic puzzle anyway, and that should be a bonus puzzle on the channel, I think tomorrow, but don't hold me to that, because I haven't formally heard yet exactly when they would like it to be released. I will also mention the blueprint stream from Monday. I've been looking at the comments on the video, and they've been amazing. So if you have been following our escapades through the Blueprints Mansion, you might want to, and you missed Monday night stream, you might want to check that out. Over on Patreon, we've got loads of bonus stuff over there, including, of course, this month's competition. It's themed on Spider-Man, which you've been liking. There's also extra crossword content, in which I've solved a viewer puzzle. And should mention, because it's Wednesday, Marty's merch, which is... Where's Marty's merch? Is it this one? Yay! Marty's merch, here we go. The rat rummer, you can see that on the screen, can't you? Marty designed all this himself. And some of this is very, very fetching indeed. I especially like the black maze on anything, and the mouse mats. But anyway, there's lots of things. There's t-shirts as well. So check all that out. I'll try and remember to put a link to that on the screen. And I've got 2 birthdays to do today. Rob. Oh, in fact, this one's late because I only got the message. It came via Instagram, which is another, thing I don't really understand on the internet. But Rob, you turned 30 yesterday. I'm sorry I'm a bit late with the message. I got the message from Amber asking if I could wish you a happy birthday, and I'm sorry that I'm a day late with this and $1 short. So I hope that you have had a great birthday, and I hope the chocolate cake was very good. And then Marcel, it is your birthday today. You're turning 38 over there in the Netherlands. I know this because your wife, is it Nienke? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That would be my guess. It could be Nenki, actually. Maybe it's just... Or it could be Ninki. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, hopefully, Marcel, you realise who it is who's wishing you a happy birthday. I know you've been watching the channel for a few years, so thank you for doing that. And, I hope the chocolate cake is very fine. That's all the news. Shall we have a go at Fruitful? Rat Run number 37 by the brilliant Marty Sears. What do we have to do today? We have got to fill the grid with the digits 1 to 9, so that in each row and column, one of the digits 1 to 9 is missing, and one of the digits is repeated. So we've got some sort of thing a bit like last time with the Sudoku. Every digit from 1 to 9 is missing from exactly 1 row and 1 column, and repeated in exactly 1 row and 1 column. Use the orange arrows to keep track of the missing digits, and the blue arrows to keep track of the repeated digits. Okay? The aim of the experiment. Finkz and Phinx must both reach different cupcakes by finding a path through the maze. The paths must not visit any cell more than once, share cells, cross themselves or each other, or pass through any thick maze walls. As well as moving orthogonally, they may move diagonally, if there's a 2 by 2 space in which to do so, but may never pass diagonally through a round wall spot on the corner of a cell. So let's go to the line drawing tool. We can't do... So we could do that, because there's nothing to prevent that, but we couldn't do that. That would be a way of demonstrating. And we couldn't do that either. That round wall spot prevents that diagonal movement. Forbidden doors. A red X may not be passed through and sits between 2 digits that sum to 10. Okay? Blackcurrants. If a blackcurrant sits between 2 digits, one is double the other. Redcurrants. If a redcurrant sits between 2 digits, one is odd and the other is even. Grapes. If a grape sits between 2 digits, they have a difference of at least 5. Okay. Goldenberries. Okay, I think we did have those before. If a goldenberry sits between 2 digits, they are not consecutive or the same. Oh, yeah, okay, because in this... Oh, right, that's actually important. Let's just hover on that. Let's imagine this was a 2. It's absolutely... Because this is a weird puzzle, you could have another 2 in this row. So in theory, that could have been a 2. But it says that's not possible across a goldenberry because it operates exactly like a nab from that perspective. That's weird. Right, the test constraint. In this experiment, a rat's path is divided into segments by any fruit she eats. The digits on each segment have the same sum to be determined. This segment sum may be different for Finkz and Phinx. Good grief. So it's like region sum lines. But rather than the 3 by 3 boxes dividing the path, it's going to be pieces of fruit. Okay, I think I understand that. I don't know what that will mean, but do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So we've got 2 mice, 2 mice and 2 cupcakes, and presumably there's a reason that this mouse, let's say this mouse is inks, I think. Why can't that mouse just do that? Because that's never been possible in any of these puzzles. I don't think that does work, does it? Because if we do that, what we're told is the segments have different... This segment should sum to that segment because there's a piece of fruit in the middle. And yet these digits definitely have different parity across the redcurrant. So the segments couldn't have the same sum. That doesn't feel... I mean, I'm not very surprised we can't do that, but I don't think we can. So... Oh, golly gosh. So it's the same, isn't it, if we go that way? This... If the mouse here, which is inks, if she goes into row 8, column 2, that cell is completely surrounded by fruit. So that is a segment on its own. But this is a segment on its own, because this is where the rat starts. So those 2 digits would have to be the same. And they can't be the same because they have different parity. So I think we can actually say that the rat goes downwards. Now if she goes eastwards from there, then we would have a 2-cell segment. Don't know actually. It seemed... Well, sorry, I'm not being very articulate there. I think she could go straight up if this was a relatively high digit. She could go there and then up or across. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can rule out going the other way. If she goes the other way, it's much more forced. She'd have to go because you can't bump into yourself, you'd have to actually do a circle there. Now, why doesn't that work? We'd have a length 3 segment, then a length 2 segment, then a length 1 segment, then we wouldn't know, although actually we would know, because we couldn't go straight up there, because then we'd have these two digits ought to be the same, and they are across a grape, which means the digits in them are meant to be 5 different, so that definitely couldn't be right. So we would have to go that way. You can't even say, can you, that these 3 digits have to be different, because in this puzzle there's this possibility of repeated digits. I'm not sure what we do with that. Let's just get rid of that. I think we can say with certainty that inks comes down to row 9, column 3. So is it a question about how you get to the cupcakes then? So this cupcake, I think there's many ways. Actually, there's a load of ways of getting through to that cupcake. What about this cupcake? This cupcake, you can't come from the south side because there's a forbidden door blocking the path. So if you want to go to that cupcake, you've either got to go that way or that way. Right, so this cupcake can't have a huge segment total. Because, it could have an 18 segment total though, if it was double 9 or something like that. But I'm seeing that the final segment for this one is either 2 cells there or 2 cells there. So it couldn't be bigger than a double 9. There's far too many black dots in column 7 is something I can see, actually. I haven't looked at sort of fruit logic at all, but there's only 6 possible digits you can ever put on a black dot in Sudoku, because you're looking for a relationship where one digit is double the other. So you could have a 1-2 pair, or a 2-4 pair, or a 4-8 pair, or a 3-6 pair. But you can't ever put 5, 7, or 9 on blackcurrants, because you're either then be looking for digits that are half those or double those. And half of 5, 7, and 9 are not integers, and double them are not Sudoku numbers. So there is a repeated. I'm not sure what's repeated, but these digits, if we do an excessive pencil mark, they have to be from the panoply of digits that it's possible to put on blackcurrants. So those 2 digits are from 5, 7, and 9, because one of these blackcurrant digits must be a repeat, because there's only 6 of them and there are 7 cells there, which means that these are from the other digits, and the digit that's missing from this column is whatever is not used in those 2 cells. So now how was the colouring working? Use orange to keep track of missing digits. Right, so that is 5, 7, or 9, and the repeated digit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8. Now, how do we use that to our advantage? I mean, okay, that sequence can't involve 3, 6. Because because 3 and 6 are they're paired up across blackcurrants. If you put 3 on, you've got to put 6 on. There's no choice. If you put 6 on, you have to put 3 on, because 12 and 1.5 don't work. So if you did have 3 or 6 on any of those, they'd all be 3 and 6, and you would repeat both 3 and 6. Well, we can't do that. So they must be 1, 2, 4, 8. But we know we need 3s and 6s in this sequence. So 3s and 6s must live at the top of the sequence. We're either going to have double 3 or we're going to have double 6. And we've got a black, not a forbidden door here. So that's 7 or 4. And now the repeated digit in this column is 3 or 6 because it's whatever that one is. Those two are repeating. And this is these are the Nabna. These are they're not Nabna. They're not officially called Nabna in Rutran. They're called goldenberries. I don't think I can use the grape there. The grapes are like German whispers. So you're looking for digits. So each grape is going to have a high digit and a low digit. When I say a high digit, I mean a digit higher than 5, and a low digit will be a digit lower than 5, because we can never put 5s on grapes, because there's no Sudoku digit that's 5 different from 5. Yeah, okay, so let's think about that then in the bottom row. That you can't put 5 in the bottom row at all, because it would have to go on a grape now. Now that can't be 5. And you just can't do it, because 5 less than 5 is 0 or lower. 5 more than 5 is 10 or higher. So this row is missing a 5. That's not really a cause for celebration in the way a digit typically is it? Because it's just saying, it's saying, well, hang on, what does this digit mean then? So let's just imagine that's a 1. I feel like if that's a 1, each of these is going to have a low and a high digit on it. I'm not sure. I feel there's something I ought to be able to deduce from that about what the repeated digit is. There probably is, isn't there? If that's a 1, there are 4. There are 4 high digits in the row, but why couldn't you repeat? Why couldn't you have 2 9s in the row? No, you couldn't, because if you did have 2 9s, no, I do see. What we're essentially saying is that the polarity of this, i.e. whether this is higher than 5 or lower than 5, it determines the polarity of the repeater, doesn't it? Because imagine this was a 1. We know that each of these grapes contains a low digit, a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So the fact that this is a 1 means that there are 5 digits of low polarity in the row, but there are only 4 such digits in Sudoku, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the repeated digit will match the polarity of this digit. But unfortunately, we don't know. That could be 8, in which case this would be a high digit being repeated in the row. Oh, goodness me, this is really complicated, actually. Right, but yes, okay, but that is a 5 now, because I can't miss 5 out of row 1. This 5 is saying every one of the corollaries of this being 5 is every other row must have a 5 in it, because if it didn't, it would be a missing digit from 2 rows, and every digit is meant to be missing from 1 row. So there is a 5 in that row, and it can't go on a grape, so that is a 5, which means, yeah, it does mean that is not a 5. I was wondering if I was allowed to do Sudoku, but I am, because I know that the repeater is in those digits, so it can't be there. So this digit is not a 5 because that is not missing from this column. And here is the question. Has this done anything? I mean, if it has, I don't know what it is it's done. No, I don't know. Okay, so maybe we've got to look at this rat, but this rat looks much less constrained than that rat. I mean, it looks like it can go just about anywhere. I'm not very good at doing this, is it? It can't go there, can it? This rat here. Because if it did, I feel like the blackcurrant wouldn't work. So hang on, this rat is Pinks, because Inks is down here. So if she went down column 1, she would have to go through all those 3 cells. And then from here, she would either go this way or this way. But the point is that that's a 1-cell segment, and that's a 1-cell segment. And they are across a blackcurrant. Let me just... Yeah, it says one is double the other. So there's no way those could be the same segment size. So that's definitely not right. She doesn't go that way. Now, that doesn't mean we know much about how she moves within this area of the grid. But I think in order to get to a cupcake, she is going to have to go through there now. Because if she can't, this is sort of a, you know, it's like a fenced-in yard, isn't it? You can't really do anything there. Well, other than you can exit it here or here. So she's going to have to exit it there, there, there. If she went down, she'd go through 2 goldenberries, which that doesn't work. Right. So she's in this position. If she goes south, because she can't use the forbidden door, she has to continue. Now, I've got a 1-cell segment here and a 1-cell segment there, but they are split by a goldenberry, so they can't have the same digit. That was a rule. They can't be the same digit. So this is not going to work because they wouldn't have the same segment sum. So Pinks is going to have to turn into... Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. I was thinking that's broken, but it's not because that's a 2-cell segment. But if she goes south, am I not just going to run through goldenberries again? Yeah, I am. If she goes south, it's exactly the same logic. You're going to take, this is a 1-cell segment, this is a 1-cell segment. They are split by a goldenberry, so that's not going to have the same total. So she's got to go north. And now she's got to go... Well, now, whatever she does, she's got an enormous segment. That's actually very surprising. Because didn't I look at that earlier, and I thought... Well... Yeah, okay, so we're getting to some sort of inequality here between the lengths of segments, because either cupcake... What is the longest length of cupcake? Final cupcake segment you could have. Here it would... no, hang on, it would be 3. I miscounted that. Oh, okay, so the pressure isn't quite as bad as I thought. That one, I think it's 2. Whether you come in that way or that way, but this one you could come in 3. So maybe it's not so surprising. No, all right, no. Let's hang on. I have got a problem, but it's not with a cupcake. It's with that segment. That is definitely a 2-cell segment. And what's more, that's not a particularly big digit. So even if that was a 9, 15 is the biggest segment we could possibly generate on Phinx's path. And yet, well, okay, that definitely tells us we're not coming down column 9. Because if we did go across again and down, we can't go through the forbidden door, and that's... Oh, well, no, okay, and I did the maths wrong, but now I've done the maths better. There are 6 digits, and I was going to say the minimum sum was 21, but then, of course, I'm forgetting you could have a repeated 1 in the column. So actually, the minimum sum of 6 digits in this puzzle is a repeated 1, 2 1s, and then a 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 16, which is still more than 15, so it still doesn't work, but it's much closer than I'd realised when I started to speak. But we do have to go down there. And now what we've got is an exactitude. We have got an exact... Oh, in fact, we've got loads, actually. We've got one segment there, one segment here, and one segment there. And they are all complete segments, and each one of these has to sum to the same. Now, well, okay. Well, the minimum they could be would be a double 1, a 2, and a 3, which is 7, 12. Well, so we've found a balance then, I think. Because unless I've made a mistake, the very minimum I could put there would be a 1, 2, 3 and repeat the 1, which is 7 for that sequence. Plus 5 is 12. Let's add the minimum there, plus another 3, that's 15. But so 15 is the minimum for yellow, but it's the maximum for green, so it must be 15. So 3 is now the repeated digit in column. So I really like this. This is really cool. This is a 1, 2, 3, and this digit, well, it's not... I know it's a repeated 1. I know it has to be a repeated 1, otherwise the maths doesn't work. Now I've got 1 on a grape here, so that's a high digit. The weather is awful today. This is on a grape, so that's a high digit. That's on a forbidden door, so that's a low digit. Now, what does that do? This digit is the opposite parity to 9, so it is even. But it's on a segment, a 2-cell segment that has to add to 15, so it's not 2 or 4 there, so that's 7 or 9. This x is 3, 7, isn't it? They have to add to 10. That is okay. That is okay. Oh, I'm getting confused what all the berries mean. So this one is... It's just not got to be consecutive or the same as that one. Although, hang on. So the repeater in this column is that digit. Whatever that is, it will repeat in one of those. So that's 7 or 9. And this digit is on a grape, so that's low by parity logic. And that's quite interesting, because that means Phinx doesn't go to this cell, because if she goes to this cell, that's a 2-cell segment that couldn't possibly add up to 15. So she's got to go downwards. And then she can't do that, because again, that couldn't add to 15. Can't go through the forbidden door, so she's got to go downwards again. And now she can't go up, or she's cul-de-saced, so she's got to go there. So I've got quite a lot of a Phinx path here, and that has to add to 15, so that's from 6, 7, 8, 9. This has to add to 15, so that's from 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if that was 7, 8, I would have a repeated 7 in row 4. This one, hang on, this one's on a grape, so that's got to be a low digit. So that means that the path doesn't go straight into the rat here. Phinx's path can't do that because that wouldn't be a 15 segment. This is on a forbidden thing. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4 because they have to add to 10. Oh no, that's virtually all options available for this cell, or all black dot options at least. Yeah, there's no segments that are going through there, so we can't use any 15 trickery to help us. So okay, well that was a flurry of activity that somehow stopped, hasn't it? Oh, okay, but the path is here and can't go through the forbidden door, and a new segment has been started. So I want to do this. I don't know if that works, you know. If we go there, then this would have to be a big old digit to make this segment add up to 15. So this would have to be a little digit, like a 1, 2, or 4, to make the green dot work, or the grape work. And now, because that would be little, I wouldn't be allowed to join the cupcake. So I'd have to go up or down. I can't go up because the path would hit itself. It can't go through the door. And if I go down, that's horrible, because this would be a 1-cell segment that should be a 15. So it just can't work. So I don't think I can go west there. So do I have to turn, is what I'm wondering. Because if I don't turn, I'm going to have to go all the way down. Because if I do rinky-dink, I'm going to be sent into a cul-de-sac. There's no other way out of this part of the world. So if I go down, I've got to go down to the bottom. But all of these digits are at least equal to 4. Because 1 is the repeated digit, and we've had 1, 2, and 3. So this would be at least, they can't repeat, and B, they're at least equal to 4. So they'd be at least 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is 22, I think. It's much more than 15. I don't think that works. So I think we have to rinky-dink. I mean, that's actually just done a whole heap of paths, and all these segments have to add up to the right number. So this is a new 15 segment here. That's just another 15 segment here. It's a 2-cell segment. This is another 2-cell segment. This is another 2-cell segment. Look at this nonsense we've got going on in column 9. I've got 5 digit. Oh, well, I'll tell you what I will do. I will note in here that the repeated digit apparently is 6, 7, 8, or 9, because there's definitely a repeat. I've got 5 digits labelled, 5 cells labelled with 4 different digits. So the other digits in this column have to be distinct, because it's a 6, 7, 8, or 9 that's repeating. So these have to be from low digits or 5. Now, oh, I've got something. I've got a 7 or a 9 here on one of the goldenberries. So this can't be 8. And that, why am I excited by that? Well, the reason is because I'm slightly sad. But no, the reason is that, look, that's got the polar. Oh, well, hang on, I knew that anyway from, oh, it hasn't given me anything extra. No, sorry, it hasn't given me anything extra. I know those are all different. Oh, here's a point. Right, in this column, because each of these is sort of either a 7, 8 or a 6, 9 pair to add to 15, and we've had 1, 2, and 3 and a repeated 1, that digit is from 4 or 5. But it can't be 5. There are no 5s in this row. So that is a 4. And this column is missing a 5. And now this is a 9 across its grape. Oh, this is fun. Now that has to be a 6 to add up to 15. This digit is not. Oh, it's really pouring down outside. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic. Apologies if so. That has to be 8 or 9 now to avoid breaking the goldenberry. And this has to add to 15. So that's got to be not 8 or 9. And this, we don't know the parity. That's a shame. But this digit, it's so weird. You can't know what that digit is. I don't think I do know what it is. I've got a new segment that started. Oh, okay. No, the point we can make, which is legitimate, is we can't move north through the blackcurrant because there's that 2-cell segment can't add to 15. So we have to continue there. And then we're either doing that or that. So oh, goodness me, what does this mean then? I don't know. There's probably some way I'm meant to know which rat is going to which cupcake now. Yeah, yeah, there is a way, isn't there? Because actually, oh no, there isn't. No, there actually is. I think. Yes. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. Can this cupcake be associated with pinks? I think no. Because to get to this cupcake, you've got a choice of routes. You can come down here in a 2-cell segment or through here in a 2-cell segment. Now this 2-cell segment can't add to 15. If this 2-cell segment adds to 15, it will use it'll either be a 9-6 pair or it'll be a 7-8 pair. But there's already been the repeat in this column. So we can't use if these digits are selected from 6, 7, 8, and 9, all 6 of those digits are selected from 6, 7, 8, 9. There would necessarily be more than one repeat. So that's wrong. So actually, Phinx is going to this cupcake and Inks is going to this cupcake. Right. And now we can see a little bit of sort of meta logic. If we think about how we're going to get from this position on the Phinx path to this cell, the answer is not got a clue how we do it. But in some way, we're going to wend our way from here to here, aren't we? So there is a sort of, we can imagine there being a wall of Phinx joining this to this. So what we can't do, if we turn right at the bottom, if Inks turns right, she'd need to get out of this area without crossing Phinx's path, and there's no way out. So she could never get to this cupcake. Her only choice is basically going to be to go above Phinx, is going to be to go around here somehow, across the top and in there. Or there might be a way to do it like that. Oh, well, no, maybe not. Maybe like that. Maybe. Yeah, you can see that there is a path for Phinx to the cupcake there, so that might also be possible. But the broad fact of the matter is that Inks needs to stay higher than Phinx, so we are doing that. And then we're doing that because otherwise you're going to send poor old Inks into a cul-de-sac region. Now, the parakeet in the garden. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. Don't know what that all means, but probably means something. There's parakeet again. I mean, that was all good stuff. And I now don't know what to do. I've got a clue. I'm looking at this. I don't know where the weak point is in at this point of the puzzle. There must be some clear piece of logic that we can apply that's sort of useful. I don't even know where to begin looking for it, frankly. It can't be how does Phinx close the path? There's so many routes through this area because we can do diagonal routes. Yeah, it is difficult to know which clues to focus on. That digit, does that have to be quite low then? Isn't it the same principle? No, maybe it does. No, yeah, it does because it can't be 6. If it was 6, it would break the goldenberry rule. It would be consecutive with 7. So this digit, it can't be high, I think. It can't be, but it's much more complicated than I first appreciated. It can't be 6, 7, or 8 because of the goldenberry. If it was 9, the 9 would repeat, but so would the 7 or the 9. We'd have 2 repeats in the column. So it is true to say it's relatively low, but that's far from a brilliant deduction, unfortunately. Okay, all right, I'm going to resort to desperation. I established earlier when I looked at that 5 therefore had to appear in all of these rows because it's not appeared in this row. Now I could do that in the column as well, couldn't I? This column, that has to have a 5 in it. Where? Where am I putting 5 in that column? It doesn't seem to be able to be at the top. It can never be on a grape. It can never be on a black dot. So I think that has to be a 5. Which, I mean, that's so ludicrous. Is that really true? Does that mean that this is a 5? It would seem to, and then that would be a 5. So that's double 5. This is 5. And This doesn't look right, does it? That is very, very annoying, actually. Because I was thinking as I put that in, that's classic Marty Sears to have double 5 on an X. But it made me question what I've put up here. And I don't understand this and this digit. Why do I think that it could well be right, but I'm going to check. Why did I think? What was I thinking? I put that in. I'm just worried I've assumed those two digits have to add to 15. Because there's nothing joining those together, so how did I know what to pencil mark into this cell? That one I get. That is definitely a 2-cell segment, but that is not a 2-cell segment. So this might be wrong as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to revisit this. I'm worried about that deduction because it's so weird to suddenly, think, oh, I have to think about where 5s go in these columns. That doesn't feel like a Marty deduction. So I think, well, I'm not saying this isn't double 5, by the way. It could be. It could well be double 5. I'm just worried that's predicated on none of those being a 5. And when I look at that, I'm not sure I can justify it. Why did I understand this pencil mark, definitely. And then I don't like, I think these are dubious. Those are not dubious. That's probably dubious because I think I got that from the X. Now, did I use this for anything else? Because if I did, we're going to have to go back. Don't think I did. I mean, I think what I did was just think those had to add to 15, plonk them both in, did the X. Parity dot wouldn't have helped with anything. So it's those 3 digits. So actually what we should do is put 3 digits there. Now, no, you could have double 5 here. I was about to say maybe I can run the same argument and still justify the 5 here. But that could be 5 across a double 5 here, putting 5 here. And that could be 5. If that's a 5, I don't know. This is you rotten puzzle. Oh no, to be fair, that's actually my fault, isn't it? That's not the puzzle's fault, it's my fault. I remember thinking about whether this could be 7, 8, and I think I concluded it could be, because that would repeat as 7. Ah! Or, no, that doesn't work. I don't know, so I think I'm still stuck. Can that... Oh, wait a moment. This is easier. This is easier. Yeah, I can't make this 6, 9. That is a genuine segment, isn't it? Those 2 cells. So if they were 6 and 9, this would be a 6 and a 9. So that's not 6, 9. Now that's much easier. So that's 7, 8. Now, oh, that's lovely. That is no. Or maybe this one. Ah, I was thinking I could do that one, but I don't think I can. Because that's not a goldenberry. Oh, bother. Okay, let's use this is a goldenberry, so this can't be 7 or 8. It would be either consecutive or the same as this one. So that's 6 or 9. Now, have we got, so we've got, that's a segment, isn't it? So this, okay. So that's a 6-9 pair now. And therefore this, we've already had the repeat in this column. So this is a 7-8 pair. There we go. That's a lot easier. Now that is now opposite parity. So that's 8, that's 7. That can't be 6, it would be consecutive. That's a 6, that's on a grape, so that has to go with a, oh, unsurprising, a 1. This is on an X, so that has to be a 4. That's legitimate. Oh no, don't be... No, it's okay to take 4 out of these because the repeater in this column is that digit. Oh, well, that's made me feel better. That's made me feel better because we've actually got somewhere without me having to resort to ludicrousness and incorrect ludicrousness. By the way, is it me or is it getting completely dark? It's now 2:27 and it is exceptionally dark in my office because it is so unpleasant outside. So, this is the repeater. Not the blue Peter, the repeater. That's a 3-cell segment. That's a 2. Let's label some of these segments. That's a 2-cell segment. That one we don't know, except we know it doesn't go into the mouse or the rat. Gosh, that's a that'd be like, who is it that follows our live streams? And their name is something like, I'm definitely not a lobster. And then Mark called them a lobster. You couldn't believe it. Don't think anyone's ever been so rude. And this down here, do we know anything about that? We know it does go through. Okay, here is a tiny point. I know that one of those digits is high because they are separated by a grape. So they could be a 1-6 pair, but then one of them would be a 6. So that means that because one of these digits is at least a 6, and in its segment it's being added either to a digit here or to 2 digits here, this digit is at least a 7, because that is a single cell segment that is, that is supposed to be the segment sum for inks. Now, that digit is on a grape then, so this digit is 1, 2, 3 or 4. And that's on a grape, so that digit is 6, 7, 8 or 9. Right, so, this is important. So inks can't go straight through, because this would be a 1-cell segment. Sorry, that's completely clear, isn't it? Right, now inks can't go up here. And that's for a cute reason. If she goes into row 5, column 1, you must turn to avoid going into the cul-de-sac area. Can you see now I've got 2 segments here? I've got a single cell here and a single cell here, and they are crossing a redcurrant or something. So they're meant to have different parity in these cells. They couldn't be the same total. So that's not what's happening. We're going to have to go there and there. And now, right, now what I want to do is to try and label some of these. I'm going to repeat colours, so forgive me for that. I just want to make sure I don't make a boo-boo like I made here with the segment lengths. So we could make this one orange, maybe. That's a 2-cell segment. Make it blue. So, don't know what that means. So in order for this to be 7, this well, that would have to be a 7. So this couldn't be a 6 across this dot. So this would have to be the 6. This would have to go 6, 1. And that would put the parity wrong there. Is that right? So the way I started this idea was I said, okay, this green dot has to contain a high digit. The only way that this could stay as low as 7 is actually with the specific instance that there is a 6 in the corner here, because that would make this a 1, and this would have to be a 1 to keep this down to 7. If you put the 6 here, those two cells have to be added to get to this total, so it couldn't be 7. And obviously if you put a higher digit than 6 across this grape, then this can't be 7 either. So it would have to go 6, 1, and then this shouldn't be odd, so it would be even. So it's not 7, it's at least 8. But now you can, well, I was about to say you can get into ludicrousness where that could be 6 and that could be double 1, but we actually had double 1 already in a column. So you couldn't put 6 on this now. Well, certainly not and make this 8. Oh, could you though? 6? No. But could that be 7, 1, 8? 7, 1. That might work. What's that X? That can't be an odd X. Because in this column, I know 7 and 9 have appeared and accounted for the repeat. So we can't make this 1, 7. Sorry, 1, 9 or 3, 7. We will repeat another 7 or 9, so that's even. X's have the quality that they're always, obviously the digits adding up to X. Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, no, it's okay. Marty's so mean. Because, of course, then I thought, oh, could you have double 5, which I've already got wrong here. But no, it can't be double 5 here because I've definitely had the repeat. So it is fair to say that's either 2, 8 or 4, 6, which means this is either 2, 8 or 4, 6. These two digits are the same. Now, I mean, what does that mean? That means this is odd, actually. That's one thing it means, because that is a parity relationship. I'm sorry if this is all obvious. It's not to me. Okay. Is there some way I'm meant to understand this now? If this was 2, 8, then this would be 8 in the row. This would have to be 1 or 4. Oh! I didn't notice that. Right. Let's look at the... I had not even considered this line of blackcurrants, but we should do, shouldn't we? Because these are all different, because we've had the repeat 3 in the column, this is going to be an ascending or descending sequence. It's going to go 1, 2, 4, 8 in either way up. So this can't be middle of the sequence. This is the 1, in fact. That's been available forever. That's going to have to go 1, 2, 4, 8. Oh, this is beautiful. And that unlocks the logic for this row. Because now this can't be 2, 8. Because if it was 2, 8, you'd repeat the 2 and the 8. So that's not 2, 8. That's going to be 4, 6. So this is going to be 4, 6. These two digits are the same. Now, okay, so we've had 4 and 6. We know the repeater in this column is 7 or 9. So that's got to be an 8. And that's part of a segment. So that's 7. So 7 is the repeated digit. So 7 can't be the repeated digit in this column. So this can't be a 7. This can't be a 4 because it would be a second repeater in this column. In fact, we should label this, shouldn't we? These two digits at the bottom are from 1, 2, 3, and 5. And one of those is the missing digit. So this, oh, it's not 5 actually. So it's 1, 2, or 3 is missing. So there is a 5 in this column, unsurprisingly. But the Nabna thingy takes 3 and 5 out of that one. And this can't be a 5 because that segment wouldn't add up to 15. So 5. So 5 is here. That's no, I put 5 there before, didn't I? Not there. Right, that's okay. So in this column, there has to be a 5. And now there's only one place it can be, which is there. I think that's right. I'm questioning myself again. Let's just make sure we're not making a boo-boo there. Because 5 is missing from here, there has to be a 5 in there. Can't be on the X. Can't be there. It really can't. And it would break that segment. I think it's right. So 7, 5. This is on a golden Nabna. So that I mean, that is a oh, well, I tell you what that does do. It proves that X is not double 5. Which might still have been possible. It was certainly something I had in my mind. So this can't be 4, 6 either, because that would put 2 repeats in this row. So this is either 1, 9, 2, 8, or 3, 7. Do I know what that is? No, apparently not. But that's 4 or 6, and that's on a blackcurrant. So this digit, it could be a 3 if this is 6, or if it's 4, this is 2 or 8. So this is 2, 3, or 8 on a grape. I don't know. Can I? All right. I'm obsessed with this idea of trying to use 5s. Can I use 5 in that column now? Is that legitimate? I think that's legitimate. I do have to put a 5 in this column. It can't go there now because that would double 5 this X. So there's a 5 up there. So, and these are 15 segments, aren't they? So these 3 digits. Oh, wait a second. That's a 7. 7 on a dot. That can't be 3 or 4. It wouldn't be 5 different. So these digits are. So what we've got here is a 3-cell segment adding to 15. One of the digits is a 5. So the other 2 digits add to 10, and they're either 1, 8 or 2, 9. So those digits are from 5, 8, or 9. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. Sorry, I know I'll stop talking again. This is very confusing, this puzzle. So So now what's going on? What's going on in the bottom row? Now this is an 8. And that was the digit that was, yeah, okay, so this is the point we were talking about earlier. So now I know that this digit is 6, 7, 8, or 9. The reason we know that is there is a surplus of high digits in this row, because each grape contains a low and a high digit, and that's the sort of tiebreaker. So there are definitely 5 high digits in this row. So I'm not saying it's the 8 that repeats, but I am saying that this digit is a high digit. It's not easy, this, is it? It's for me at least, this is not easy to work out how to use. Oh, I've never seen that. There's a blackcurrant and a grape in the outsides there, which is quite weird. Oh, that's almost. There's an amazing point I've just come up with there. Where's 5 in this column? Not there. Can't be on a blackcurrant. Not there. Can't be on this X, because that would double 5 it. Can't be there. That's on a grape. Can't be there. That's on a grape. So it's in one of those two. One of those two is a 5. I don't think I know which one. Yeah, you see, there's all sorts of logic about 5s. In this column, you've got to put a 5. And again, with the combination of grapes and blackcurrants where you can never put 5s, 5 has to be in one of those 3. I don't know if that deserves I don't know if it does. Maybe it does deserve it. It's very difficult to know how to use corner pencil marks in a puzzle with no 3x3 boxes. Oh, that's low now, apparently. So that's on a grape, so that's got to be high. And that's on a grape, so that's got to be low. Do we care about those things? I don't know, is the short answer. I'm not sure. Or this is tricky as. It's tricky, this. It's tricky to know how to approach it. Do I know? Oh yes, okay. I was working on the total for inks. I've now got a 4 or a 6 in the cupcake. Oh, wait. Hang on. How do I make an 8 total now? You can't. This is even. Yeah, so inks is going to this cupcake, the final segment of which is either that segment or that segment. Well, we're adding an odd digit to an even digit, so that's 9. Sorry if you've been shouting at me about that. Oh, God, let's go back to Sudoku. You can't do Sudoku. Well, no, I can, because that is part of a segment. So those 2 digits are meant to add to 9. So that is a 1, 2, or a 3. And that digit's got a lot of options. I might pencil mark it if I get utterly desperate. This can't be a 4 anymore. This is even. And it's 2, 4, 6, or 8. Obviously, if it was 4, 6, or 8, that would be the repeater. This digit has to be odd. So it's 1, 3, 7, or 9 by dint of it's being on a grape. So it can't be 5. It can't be 9. Because then these 2 wouldn't add up to 9. So it's 1, 3, or 7. With a chance of a 3 in the corner. And And this is just the wrong, this is just opposite parity. That one's under no pressure. That's of opposite parity. Oh, it's difficult. I don't know. I don't know what to do. The digit missing from this column is a 1, 2, 3, or 5. It's not 5, is it? So there must be a 5 in one of those three. You see, that maybe that's something we have to focus on, is sort of, you know, working out more what digits are missing and things. It could be things like that, you know. It really could. Right. Okay. This is crazy. This digit. Oh, actually, that's on a parity dot. Right. That digit's even. 2, 4, 6, 8. This cupcake digit is odd now. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Whoops. Make sure we put all the options in. So this is even. 2, 4, 6, 8. But now I've got too many evens in this row, because I've got that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So it's definitely an even digit that repeats in row 8, which means that we can't have any more even digits. So this is going to have to be an odd digit, or we'll have 2 repeats. This is going to have to be an odd digit, and it can't repeat. It can't be a repeat, so that has to be a 3. Because again, if it was double 1, this would be a 1, and we know it can't be because there's a repeated even digit. Now, that's going to be right. So this digit is now not 6 or 7 off this grape. So this is 8 or 9. That's a repeat. So now I've got a repeating 8 and 9 in row 9. I can't repeat. I know the repeater is 7 in this column. So I can't repeat a 1. So yeah, this will be 2 or 3, and then that will be the opposite of that digit. It's not 1 that's been missed out. Gosh, you sort of make a tiny leap forward, don't you? Right. Hang on. Here's a point. I've got a segment length here of 12 at the moment, and I'm going into this cell. Now I've got to get to 15. So if this was a 2, I could get to 15 by going to there, but the segment wouldn't end, because we can't go over here. We've got to get to this point, and that would be trapped in and make tiny segments that weren't adding up to 15. So we'd have to continue here to there or there, and it would break it. It would be too big. So I think we have to do. Oh, whoopsie! We have to do that, and this becomes a 3. So this becomes a 2. That's what's missing from the column. That doesn't fix the grape, but it does. Okay, but it does determine the path, because Phinx can't go up, or that wouldn't add up to that. Would be a 1-cell segment. So now she has to go there. She has to go there. That doesn't mean she can't. No, it actually does. She can't go out that way, because then this would 4 or 6 would be a 1-cell segment, and the path would get cul-de-saced if you tried anything else. So that is the end of the path. Now here is a beautiful point, and it's a point I spotted actually a couple of minutes ago, but then I noticed I could do something else. Where is 5 in row 8? There has to be one because of this 5, and it's going to be there, isn't it? So that's a 5. Now, I was about to say that means this is not a 5, but it doesn't mean that, does it? Because I haven't had... Oh. Okay, but we can use parity, maybe? Oh, I tell you what it does mean. It means those two add to... Oh, that doesn't help me either. It means these two add to 10. So they're either 1, 9, 3, 7 or double 5. I don't know then. Okay, so this digit is opposite parity. So this is even parity. 2, 4, 6, 8. but it's not 8 because I know this is the repeater in the row because there's already been an 8 or a 9. It's not 4 because that would cause a repeater. So this is 2 or 6. 6 would be useful, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay, here's a beautiful point. Well, this can't be 3 for that similar reason, but which takes 3 out of the corner. But the remaining digits in this row are made up of the digits 1, 2, 6, and 7, because there is no 5 in the row, and we've had the repeat, which is an 8 or a 9. So these are in some order 1, 2, 6, 7. Now, so if this is 2, well, this can't be 6. Is 1 point, because this can't be 1. If that's 2, that's 7. If that's 6, that's 1. So this is never 2. So now I've got a 1, 7 pair in the row. Is that really true? I think it is. I felt logical when I did it. So, okay, so one of these, so one of these is going to be a 1, 6 pair. One of them is going to be a 2, 7 pair. Now, how are we going to determine which is which? We know we're heading for 9 segments. Oh, goodness, that nearly does it. No, the way it does, actually. This yellow is a segment. So if this was a 7, these have to be double 1, and they just don't have that optionality available. So that's 1, that's 6, that's 7, that's 2. That's 2 by mathematics on the segment. This is 6 by mathematics on this segment. Does the parity work? Yes. Oh, well, that still was exciting. It still was exciting. You can't take that away from me. How long have I been going? This is a mere bagatelle compared to the 3 hours 10 minutes on the Jane Street puzzle yesterday. I'm only at an hour and 22 minutes. 4 stars. Must be getting more stupid over time. I shouldn't joke about that. I don't think I am, but maybe I am. Oh dear. Okay, right, so now I know how inks gets to the cupcake, because we know we need a length 9 segment, and if I use this cell and add it to a 4 or a 6, I don't get to 9, so it must be a 5 added to a 4, which means that we can draw in this, can't bump into the other path, so that can't go through a forbidden door, so that can't go down here because we get cul-de-saced, so there we do that. And we've built some segments there, so let's try and colour those in. That's a segment. Now there's a segment, there's a 2 by 2 there though that could have all sorts of diagonality in it. Oh, I must know what the repeater is in that row now. What is it? 6. There we go. I'm definitely going to use that. So no other row can have a repeated 6. I have to say, I almost think it's easier to use the orange digits, and sort of saying it's been the most profitable question I've had to ask is where is 5 in all the rows and columns? So not this one and this one. If that's 8, that's a 1. Which, I was going to say it doesn't work because it's the same parity, but that's a goldenberry, so that logic's nonsense. I don't know how to do this, sorry. Do I know what that's a goldenberry as well? That, oh, hang on, there's an X here I've never even looked at. Okay, that can't be 5, can it? Because that would put 5 here, and that would be on a blackcurrant where you, even though you might want to, that would be too naughty to put that on there. So I actually get 5, this column. And that's on a redcurrant, so we need an even digit here. And then that's very annoying. Oh, well, okay, let's use the X, though. That's a 1 or a 2. That's on a blackcurrant, so we can't have 8 and we can't have 6. So this is a 2 or a 4. This is a 1 or a 2. And that doesn't help me with the parity of this one. Ah, but this is a goldenberry. So this is not 8 or 9, because that would be consecutive or the same as the digits above. So this, by 15 segment logic, is now either 8 or 9. This doesn't resolve. Really? That's rotten. You rotten thing. I'm so sorry if this is obvious. It could well be obvious, actually. Wow. Okay. So, thing is, it's very odd as well, because in all these columns, I'm not seeing much evidence of sort of either repeats or missings. So I feel like I don't really know how to fill these in. There's got to be a... Oh, is that... Oh, it's this question again. It's the same question. Look at row 6. Where's 5? There has to be a 5 in it. It can't be there. It would be on a grape. So it's got to be there. So now this is... Oh, it doesn't help. That's got to be even. So this has got to be odd to add up to 9. Ah, now this is a segment. That's a segment that has to add up to... Ah... I mean, even that's quite complicated. That is a segment that has to add up to 9. Don't immediately rule out the possibility of that being double 2, but you can actually, because that would put 3 2s in a row, which is too many. So this is not a 2, and this is a 1-3 pair. Now, right, so if this was 3-7, I would have a repeat 7 and a repeat 3. That doesn't work. So this is either 1-9 with the 1 being a repeat, or 5-5 with the 5 being a repeat. But if it was 5-5, then that one would be a 5 as well. Actually, whichever way round it works, the segment is correct. Don't know. Okay, this digit is even now. So that's 2, 4, 6, or 8. So this digit is blackcurrant. But that means it's all but anything. It could be so many different things. This is 1-3. Okay, this digit we know is either 1 or 5. That is the repeater in this row. But I'd really love to know, you know, in other columns, what the repeaters are. I feel that that's the thing I haven't been able to get to fathom out. If that's a... Oh, here's an interesting point. If that's a 3, that's got to be a 6 by blackcurrant logic, and I'd have 2 6s in this row, and that would be a 6, which would be 2 rows with 2 6s in. That can't do that. That's a 1. That's a 2 by blackcurrant logic. Can't determine it. Oh, no. What you can do is say that blue segment has to add up to 9, so that's an 8. I'm sure that does. Oh, yeah. That's lovely. Right, in column 2, if this was a 1, I'd have 2 columns with repeated 1s in. So that's got to be a 3. That's got to be a 1. Yeah, I haven't thought about this 137 triple actually. Maybe that is a place I should have devoted more time to. Although, I mean, how? How do you resolve this? Okay, this is a segment that adds up to 9. So this digit is a 1, a 1, a 6, or a 7. Now, okay, we haven't. We've had a repeated 1 in the column. We haven't had a repeated 1 in the row. But this can't be 6 because that would be another row in which 6 was repeated. So this is 1 or 7. So this is not 3 anymore. That does do something. That's really important, believe it or not. Yeah, because this not being able to be 3 means that has to not be 6. So that is 4. Oh, I can't. That was available through the X's. I just didn't see it. I'm so sorry. And this is, okay, this is on a thingy, a technical term for a grape. So if this is 8, that's 1, whoopsie, I was going to say it's 1, 2, or 3. And if it's 2, it's, I was going to say 7, 8, 9, but it's just no good. Oh, but it's on the path, so it's not 9. Do we know it's connecting to that as part of a segment eventually? I'm not saying I know the route, but are we saying it connects to that? Yeah, there's no other. Yeah, so this is connecting to that. So this can't be 8. It could be 7 if it's a 2-7 diagonal. And this digit, by X logic, is 9 or 3. And some way or another, this is all completely obvious, is it? I wish it was obvious to me. God. Oh, I don't know. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, let's think about what digits are missing then. Either from this one or this one. I've got more in this one. So the digit that could be missing in this row is 2, 3, or 6. Right, but it can't be 6 because that would put a 1 above here, and 1 is not missing from that row. So this is a low digit. It's 2 or 3. So this is 7, 8, or 9. It can't. It has to be 8. It has to be 8 because it's on a. Yeah, that is right. We can't have you can't have non Sudoku digits outside the grid, even in this mad puzzle. So that's got to be 8. That doesn't help me with this one, but it does tell me 8. It tells me 8 is not in this row. So that is no longer an 8. That's the most useless deduction ever. This is now 4 by blackcurrant logic. So there's no 4 in this. So that is not a 4. It's a tiny win for the goodies. That is not a 4. That is not a 6, because then I'd have too many 6s in this row. I should have learned that by now. So the repeat in row 5 is 2 or 4 now. It is definitely 2 or 4. Which might be important. So this digit is 1, 2, 4, or 8, but it's not 4 because of this. But do we know what the repeated nature is in this row? Do we have any clue at all? Those two are either 7, 8 or 6, 9, aren't they? So if it was 7, 8, this would be a 7. I'll tell you something that's interesting. Look, that can't be a 1, 2 pair because that would put 2 repeats in that column. Right, now there must be a 4 on this blackcurrant because this digit is 2 or 8 and neither digit can be, this can't be a 1. So that we need a 4 effectively is one way to think about it on that blackcurrant. So that is 4. Don't know what this is. That is the repeater. So 4 is now repeated in this row. And somehow or other, presumably we can do something with that. Maybe. Please. I don't know how. I really don't. No, not got it. Can't see it. I mean, it's fascinating, but it's not easy, this. I dispute whether it's easy or not. Do we now know? Okay, so this row can't have repeated 4 in it, so we can take 4 out of that little cell. This column can't have repeated 1 in it, because we've had repeated 1, so that is not 1, so that is not 9, because remember those two have to add up to 10. Now, so this black dot does have a 2 on it, doesn't it? Because it's either 1, 2 or 2, 4. So 2 does make an appearance here. But 2 hasn't repeated yet in the columns. And this row is lacking a 2 or a 3. If it was lacking 2, it would be incredibly useful. Because this would be 8, this would be 1, this would be 9. I don't know, I think that would probably do other things as well. The only way this is a 2 is if this is a 7. So that would have to close the loop. 2, 7, 2. Look at this final segment. 5, 5, 5 is possible, and that's so Marty to do that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, but I don't know where to look. What do you think we do next? No idea. Okay, let's pencil mark column 2, where we've got lots of digits in there. Now, I mean, you can't really pencil mark it, though. I need to know what's missing from it. It has to have a 5 in it. I know we've got one of each parity here. But it could be a repeated, no, actually 1, 3 and 7. But it could be a 7. I've not had 7 in that column, so it wouldn't be repeated. Okay, here's a different point. 4 has to appear in row 1 because 4 has already not appeared in this row, so it appears in every other row. I've not got 4 in any of those, so either that one is a 4-9 grape or that one is a 4-9 grape. One of those things is true. That feels like it should do something. I don't see how to do it. Okay. If this was a 2, then 2 would be the repeater in this column. And then this would be a high digit. If this is 8, this would be... Well, it depends, because it could be a repeat. Oh, gosh, it's... How do you do this, Marty? It could easily be that I just missed the implication of a dot of the various varieties that we're trying to juggle. It could be that, couldn't it? Ah, that's an interesting thought, actually. If that was a 1-8 pair, wouldn't I have a problem? This might be wrong, but I feel like I'd have too many repeated digits in this column. I need to think that through. Because if this is a 1-8 pair, there will be a coincidence, because this is this domino, not domino, this 1, 2 here and this 8, 9 add up to 10. So they're either including a 1 or they're including an 8. So the repeat in this column would come between this domino and these two cells. And I'm wondering if that would be maybe that wouldn't need to be. So if that was 1-8 and that was 2-8, then that could be 9, couldn't it? And 9 wouldn't have appeared. Yeah, okay, sorry. I think that's okay, actually. I just didn't understand it. But I think it can work, probably. Yeah. Or it's going to be some horrible question like, which column can miss a 6? Because these two have already got 6s in it. It could easily be something like that. Which column can miss a... Oh, we've had that can't miss a 2, look. So there is a 2 in one of those, which is neither. Doesn't matter at all, I think. So 2 is missing from this. So every other column needs to have a 2 in it. Maybe that's something we could build on. But I think we've got loads of options, actually, and the ones that we haven't thought about. Oh, although that one's more difficult. That could be 2 if that's 7. That could be 2 if that's 8. That would be 2, 8, 2, 9, 6. 2, 8, 2. So it would be 2, 8, 6 at the top of that column. 2, 8, 6. So the 2 or the 8 would repeat. That would be a 9 at the bottom of the grid. 9 would be the repeated digit in row 9. Which is probably okay. Oh, what's the missing digit from that row? Because I've filled it in, so I should know. 7. 7. There you go. That's something I hadn't noticed. So every other row does need to have a 7 in it. Oh no, there's 2 possibilities there. That's rotten. Naughty puzzle. 7 has to be in one of those 3. One of these 3. That's already appeared in row 1. Oh, okay. All right. Let's check. All right. So let's look at this one. What is the missing digit now from this row? The thing is, it could be 9, couldn't it? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. 5. Oh, wait. Hang on. 5 has to appear in this row because oh, that's huge. Oh, that's weird. So 5, it's the same question again. 5 has to appear in row 7 because it has already had its non. But that 5 means that does have to be double 5 to make the maths work, because those had to add up to 10. So this is double 5. Double 5 now is the repeater in this column. So double 5 is the repeater in that row. I don't actually know if that's going to do anything for me. It's completely bizarre. Please do. Please do something more than that. Okay, so but now I know that the thing missing from this row is 9, actually. So every other row has to have a 9 in it, which is looking exceptionally doable. It means there's a 9 in one of those 3. Or, I tell you what we could think about doing, which is a bit strange. We could actually label the missing, the digits that have to be missing. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 now. So 3 has appeared there, 6 has appeared there. So 6 is missing from one of the top 2 cells, one of the top 2 rows. And what's the repeated digit in this row then? Do we have any clue? It's not allowed to be 4, 5, or 6. And so far we haven't had any repeats, but we could have 2 2s in that little sequence there, very easily. Yeah, okay, I don't know how to do that. It's maybe we're getting to the point where it's going to be hard to, we're going to whittle this down to the point where it's going to be tricky to make a 9 segment somehow. But we could, in theory, take all 4 cells with a zigzag. If you did that, it would have to be 3, 2, 2, 7, 2. It would have to have a lot of 2s going on. 3, 2, 2. So this column would have a repeated 2. This row would have a repeated 2. And that would be 8. And this would be 1, and that would be, oh no, that would be 9. That probably wouldn't. Maybe you can't do 3, 2, 2, 2. I mean, it's a fairly ludicrous thought anyway. Naughty Simon. Okay. Oh, I know how I know the value of that, because that's a segment. Oh dear, I should have kept colouring my segments. So that's a 9. So this is a 9 now. You'd think that would be useful, because now I know I can't repeat 9 in another row. Or does it help in that column? Which it probably doesn't. We've actually got quite a congregation of odd digits that have repeated. But we have to find a repeated 9 column. But that could be 9 just by popping 9 in the corner here. And that wouldn't really pressure anything. Okay, so in terms of Phinx's path, let's just make sure that we're on the right track here. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple. They are all different. Those have to add up to 10. We know that already. I'm not sure. There's probably some clever trickery going on there, but I don't see how to do it. This is an 8 or a 9, so that's a 1 or a 2. That's different parity to this, but I think all options are available. I really do. Then this is a green. So there's got to be some 15 segment at the end here. If this was an 8, that would give us 2 8s in this row. So these would be 1, 2, 3, 7. Do we know what the... No, oh, we probably do somehow know what the missing digit is from that one. Is there some reason that's not on a path? So I don't think it's part of a segment. What's going to determine that? I know whether that's 7 or 9. Oh, hang on, 4's repeated in this row. I can't repeat 1 in the row. Oh, that's so straightforward. Sorry. So that's 7, that's 3, that's 9. Okay. And now if that's 7, that's 2 to make it add up to 9. So this is 7, actually. Oh, and now I have to close Inks's path directly like this. But now maybe I can fill in some other things. Let's see. So in this row, I have had a 2, so that is a 3. So there is no 3 in this row, and there is a repeated 7 of all things. So this digit can't be a repeat, so it's a 6. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh, that's made me pleased. I've done the whole of the bottom of the puzzle, but very, very little of the top. But now we know these digits are 1, 2, 3, 8. Now, is there any way we can use that to our advantage? Or do I know what that is? I feel if that was 7, I'd have an issue. Yeah, I would. If this is a 7, I've got a repeated... Oh, I can't even do it. I'm not allowed to have a repeated 7, but there's another reason it wouldn't work, which is I would have a repeated 2 or a repeated 9 in the column. So this is a 6, which means this is a 9 by maths. Now that's different parity, so that's a 2, so that's a 4. This is an 8, and that's a 2. And now I can fill in the digit. That's a 2 at the top of that one. And the missing digit is 1, believe it. Oh, that's useful. So that's got to be a 3, which means that there is no 3 in these cells. So they are 1, 2, and 5. And the missing digits, that's not 2. 1, 2, 6. We can't have 3. 3's already been missed out. So 1. Right, so I've got a 2. Oh, I've got a 2, 6 pair, and there's a 2 now there. So that's 6, that's 2, and I know what's missing. So this is not a 6. 2 is missing from this row. 5 has already appeared twice in that row, so that can't be a 5. That's going to have to be a 1. Oh, whoa. All right, so the repeat digit in this row is 1 or 3. I don't know which, but it's whatever this is, because it's surrounded by 1 and 3. These are different, because this has to be, or these all have to be different. The repeater here is 8 or 9, not 6 anymore. And these digits, the repeaters are 4, 6, 8, 9. Now, which one of double 6? I can do that straight away. So this is 6. It's already had its 2 6s. Now, okay. Oh, that was so exciting for a moment. Now, What are we going to do with this? This column, it's had its double 5. So the digits that have not made any appearance are 1 and 8. So that is a 1 or an 8. And the digit missing can't be another 1. So it's going to have to be an 8 missing, which means this is a 1. Now, well, I don't know what that means, except that this is now a high digit by German whispers. It can't be 6, so there'd be 3 6s in the column. So that is 7, 8, or 9. And this is a double 6 column, so everything else is different. So that's a 3. Now I've got 2, 3. Oh, no, that's okay. Is that okay? Is that okay? Double. I thought there was another row where I was. Oh no, it was that one, wasn't it? So I think this can be 3. So they've got double 3 here. So that has to be double 1. And these have to be 2 and 8. And the rest of this column is made up of 4s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. And we've got to be careful how we get to the cupcake, don't we? Because we've got a 3 here, so we need 12 more. I've got 2 1s in this column, so I can't have any more 1s. I've got 2 1s in this row, so I can't have any repeats. So these digits are from, I can't have any repeats, so this can't be 5. So the digits I'm not allowed to put 2 in this row, so I have to put every other digit. So these are 6, 7, 9. And they are all different. Now, how do we get around that problem? I don't know yet, but I'm going to hopefully figure it out. There's no 4 in that row. So this digit here, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe it's these cells. Right. Hang on. There's been a 9 in this column, so it's missing a 7. Whoops. So these digits are 4, 6, 9. And there's been a 4 in this one. Whoops. There's been a 9 in this one. There's been 2 6s in this one, so it's definitely not missing, is it? Now, so if this was 9, that would be 7. That would be 8. There had to be a 4-9 pair in this row, because there had to be a 4 in it. That now has to be in the corner, look. So there's a 4-9 pair there. 9 is not allowed to repeat, so that puts 8 here. But 8 could repeat, and so could 2. Ah, this is unbelievable. But 9 can't. That's true. 9 really, and 7 really can't. So that is an 8, and 8 is repeating, so 2 can't repeat. They all had to be different. I've had 2 2s in this row, so 5, 2, they all had to be different. I can't repeat 2 in this row, so that's 8. This is a low digit, not a 2. It's a 1 or a 3, I think. It's not 1, because I'm not allowed to put 1 in the row, so that's a 3. Now, has that helped me? Probably has. What's going on in this row? I had a repeated 8, so this has to have repeated 2 in it, and it does. So it's got no other repeat in it. So it doesn't have 5 as a repeat. So the mouse is a 5. And those two are a 4-7 pair, I think. And somehow or other, we've got to finish this off now. And the way we are going to do that is by using the powers of magic. And the powers of magic are going to allow us to... That's not 5. Hang on. So we've got 2 8s in this column. So there is a 4-9 pair at the top of the grid. This is an 8, so I should have 2 8s in this row, and I do. This has got repeated 1, no 2 in it. This has got repeated 2, which it does. This should have it does have repeated 6 in it. Well, so I must just know what these are, surely. One of them is a 7, because 7 has to appear in the column. But then the other, I suppose the other one can be 4 or 9 and be missing. Oh, hang on. What about this column? 6 or 9 is so you can't repeat 7 in this column. So that digit is 6 or 9. What's going on? There has to be a 7 in all these columns. No, there has to be a 7. There has to be a 7 in one of those two and one of those two. And I've got that parity dot, which I've never thought about, but I think is fine. 4 would require 7 or 9. 9 would require 6. And 9, 6 would be very restricted. And we've got to bear in mind that we do have to close this, this path off. And we're on 8 at the moment, and we need to be on 15. So what we're going to do there is we're going to pick up a 7, aren't we? We're going to pick up a 7 in one of these two cells and then close the loop, but we can do it in either direction. That's really interesting because you don't actually... So the path is not going to be forced. Well, the path is going to be forced by which one of these is 7. But normally, or quite often with the rat run puzzles, it's the path that forces the digits, whereas this time it might be the digits that force the path. But I don't really feel like... If that is 6, that would be 9. So 6, 9. Nine, because they have to have the different parity. So this would be 4. So this would be 6, 9. This would be 4, 9, and 6 would be missing. Oh dear. Or I don't know. Sorry, it's probably really obvious. I'm probably just getting tired. How long? We're over 2 hours now. So if that's 7, I know I have to put a 7 in. So 7, 7. You can't repeat 7, so that would be 6 or 9. That's 7, that's 4. That's 9. So 9 is, so the missing digit is, oh, wait a moment. Oh, I see, yes, so I'd have double 9 in the column. Oh, that's weird. Is that really true? If that's 7. So hang on, if that's 7, this has to be 4 by parity. That has to be 9. Now we can't repeat 4 anymore. So we have to do double 9. So we get double 9. Oh, well, that's got no value. Because I've already had the... Oh, that's beautiful, actually. That's really beautiful. Right. So the point is this can't be 7, because this digit can't exist, because we've had the repeat in this row. It's a repeated 1. So if this was a 7-9 pair, we have a big problem. And it would be if that's a 7. Because it goes 7, by parity 4, by grape 9, and now in this column, we need a repeated 4 or a repeated 9. We can't have repeated 4 in this position. So that would be a 9, and this digit's impossible. It doesn't work. So that means that this digit is not 7. But I do need a 7 in this column. So it has to be there. And now that means this is 4, because we've had the repeat. Let me just double check that. In this column, we've now had a 4, so the digit missing is a 9. Which means this is a 7, which makes sense because we knew we needed a 7 in that column. I really hope this isn't going to be some weird deadly pattern now, but I'm slightly concerned about that. So we go there, there. To finish off that segment, let's colour it in. Now, somehow or other, so 9, okay, I see. So now the 9 here means that this has got to be 6 and this has got to be 4. So this column has no 6 in it. So that becomes 9. This column has no 4 in it. So that becomes 9. That becomes 4 by grape logic. So the repeated digit in this one is 4. So the repeated digit in this one should be 9. And we've had the 9 repeat, so that has to be 6, and they are of different parity. What a puzzle, Marty. I mean, your brain is... I mean, I already thought it was the size of a planet, but please be right. Please be right. Yes. Yes. Now, test date, 13th of May, 1975. Cells visited 51. Blackcurrants eaten 2. Redcurrants eaten 5. Grapes eaten 8. Goldenberries eaten 4. I wiped a tear from my eye as I unwrapped the gift. It was a delightful soft toy, a rat, of course. He must have been planning to give it to me after Zoe's birth. Oh, yes, because he's going to be a father. That's right. Alongside the gift was an envelope, addressed to me. Oh. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. What a fantastic puzzle. 154 people have solved that already. And I think even if you were on completely the right wavelength, that's not a straightforward puzzle to just whiz through. But I did it. I did it. Absolutely wonderful, Marty. You are a complete legend. And I love the puzzle, as always. Apologies if I was a bit slow in places. I'm going to maintain it's quite easy to get that wrong, but I didn't. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.